Okay. Turn your palms together at your hearts, thumbs against your chest. Just close down your eyes, drop your chin towards your fingertips, get long through the back of the neck. Just take a big breath through your nose and then exhale everything out through your mouth. And let the breath just drop down to the tip of your tailbone. And then from here, ground through your sits bones, lift the crown of the head up and move the breath into the nose. And let your belly expand on the inhale, contract on the exhale. And I invite you to set an intention or dedication for your practice today. Link it with your breath, and that will be your cue throughout your practice to stay in with your intention or dedication. Go ahead and open your eyes, reach your arms up, lift the fingertips skyward, lift the heart, and then bring the right hand behind your back. The left hand's going to go to the right knee. Sit up nice and tall. Find the tips of those sits bones, and then gently turn your gaze over your right shoulder. And stay really engaged through your core navel, drawing back towards the spine, supporting it in the twist. And breathe. And then hold on to the right knee. We're going to drop the left shoulder close to the left knee, sweep that right arm up and over. Stay grounded through the right sits bone, and then from there, get long through the right side of your body. And then place your right hand on your left knee. Cross your elbows, drop your chin towards the cross and the elbows, and then inhale the back of the heart up through your shoulder blades. Drop the crown of the head. And then sit on up and bring your left hand behind your back. Same thing as we did on the other side. Find the tips of your sits bones again. And then turn your gaze over your left shoulder. And then hold on with that right hand on the left knee. Drop the right shoulder to the right knee. Stay grounded through the left sits bone as you sweep the left arm up and over the left ear. And then right hand or left hand to the right knee. Again, cross the elbows, square off over your hips. Drop the chin down to the cross, and then inhale the back of the heart up through your shoulder blades as you hollow the belly and drop the head. And come on up. We're going to lay right onto our backs. Go ahead and lay in your back and draw your knees in towards your chest. Let your knees separate hip distance. Give yourself a little hug here. You can hold on to your wrist with one hand. Take a deep breath again, and then exhale everything out through the mouth again. And then try to keep your breathing moving through your nose. Long inhale, long exhale. Start rocking side to side. And just use this rocking motion to help you get in touch with what's happening in your body, whatever you're feeling, any sort of resistance, or simply noticing how it feels on the back as you rock. And clasp the hands around the right knee, straighten the left leg. Let the right knee open out into your natural hip turn out. Flex the left foot and spin the right ankle. And then bring the right knee across the body, extend the right arm out, and just keep your gaze up at the ceiling and let the weight of the right knee drop down towards the left side of your mat, gently moving you into a twist. And then place the left hand and the right palm on the mat. Straighten that right leg. And then using your core strength, draw your navel into your spine and bring your right foot back up towards the sky. And spin your right ankle and grab behind your right thigh. Then see if you can walk your hands up a little further. If you can't, that's totally fine. And also remember to keep your knee a little bit soft so you're not locking out your leg. And just working on activating the hamstring, even up into the calf. You can also spin the ankle when you do that a little bit. You might notice a little more stretch running through the muscles along your shin bone and the top of your foot. And then just hold here and see if you can lift your chin up towards your knee and kind of draw your knee back towards your chin. Just gentle stretch, no forcing. And then go ahead and lower the leg down. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So grab that left leg, clasp the hands around the left knee. Let the left knee open out into your natural hip turn out. Flex the right foot and draw the left knee up towards the left shoulder and spin the left ankle. And then bring that left knee across the body, extend the left arm out. Let that left knee hang heavy, moving you into a gentle spinal twist. And then place the palms flat. Extend that left leg. Use your core strength. Draw the leg up towards the ceiling. Grab behind the thigh, soften the knee, and then spin the ankle. And then maybe walk your hands up your leg a little bit. And then lift your chin up towards your knee and draw your knee back towards your chin. Gentle hamstring stretch. And lower the back down. We're going to bring that right leg up to join the left. Flex the feet and really activate the back of the leg. Maybe bring your toes a little bit closer to your face without lifting your tailbone off the mat. And then point the toes and draw the knees up towards your chest, this time lifting the tailbone off the mat. And just round through that lower back. And then again, press the soles of the feet to the sky. And then point the toes, lifting the tailbone. We're going to do that same motion and start rocking. So pressing up towards the sky, knees in. Up towards the sky, knees in. And you can go gradually at your own pace. And next time you're up, stay up and walk your way into your hands and knees. Palms underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, and try to really draw your navel up so you're engaged through your core. Spine is supported. And then drop the tailbone, lift the back of the heart up, drop the crown of the head, and hollow the belly. And then breathe into that space between the shoulder blades. And then on your next exhale, we're going to release the chest towards the mat, curl the tailbone up, get long through the belly, and lift the heart. Take a breath. Exhale, back to cat, drop the tailbone, back of the heart lifts, hollow the belly. And again, reverse, drop the chest, curl the tailbone up, get long through the belly, lift the heart. And then come on back into neutral. Get your balance here. You're going to lift that right leg up. Then we're going to lift the left arm to the left ear. Hollow the belly, kind of lift the navel up into the spine and draw your ribs together and down. And then point the toes. See if you can lift the fingers and toes a few inches. So activate the back side of the body. And then hollow the belly, touch the elbow to the knee, and come on back out. And again, create that arc, activate the back side of the body. And then hollow the belly, knee to the to the elbow, not to the ankle. And then back out. Drop the fingers and toes a few inches. And then swing that right leg to the right and the left arm to the left. Keep your core strong, spine straight, everything engaged. And then come on back to center. Let's do that one more time. Right leg comes out to the right, left arm out to the left. Stay steady, keep breathing. And then come on back to center. We're going to cross the midline here and stretch back into pigeon pose. However you can get into pigeon pose. I kind of have to wiggle my foot around here because I'm on concrete. So find your comfortable place to put your foot and your knee. And you can extend your foot out away, or you can draw it underneath your pelvis. So you decide what feels good. And you can come to your forearms. You can also lay forward. Just decide where you want to be and where you want to start. Remember, this is the beginning of your practice. You don't need to push it. I like to rock a little bit, especially in the beginning of my practice. It helps me kind of know where I might have some edges or some sensitive places. So do what feels right for your body. I always think more information is better. And then when you're ready, we're going to come on up back to our hands and knees, and we'll do that same sequence on the left side. So plant those palms underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Let's lift the left heel up to hip height, the right arm to the right ear, hollow out the belly, get nice and strong. And then point the toes, lift the fingers and the toes, activate the back side of the body. And then hollow the belly, tap the elbow to the knee, and extend out. Again, activate the back side of the body, and then hollow the belly, elbow to the knee, and forward. And then drop a few inches, and we'll bring that left leg to the left and the right arm to the right. Stay strong and straight through the core and the spine. And then come on back to center. And again, let's do the same thing. Left leg to the left, right arm to the right. And come on back to center. And we're going to cross the midline, doing pigeon on this side. So again, wiggle your way in, however is comfortable for you. You can come all the way down to your chest. You can come to your forearms, wiggle, rock, sort of gathering information about your right hip or any resistance you're feeling in general. And then come on up, hands and knees. Separate your knees the width of your mat and touch your big toes together. So the sides of the toes, sides of the heels are touching. Reach your fingertips forward as you send your sits bones back, reaching the chest to the mat. So Balasana, this is an open hip Balasana, really working on lengthening through the chest, the underarm, the shoulders, as well as the lower back. So really breathe long, inhale, long exhale. And then come on up. Keep your toes glued together. Keep your heels reaching towards your glutes as you lift your chest. And then gently start lengthening through the belly, lifting the heart, letting your hip bones draw towards your wrists. And then we're going to straighten out the legs a little bit and go into puppy pose. So knees are hip distance. You're going to keep your hips up this time. Fingertips reaching towards the top of the mat, and see if you can drop your chest to the mat. So getting a little more upper back bend, a little more chest opener. And then from here, we're just going to creep forward into Sphinx pose. So your forearms are on the mat, elbows and wrists are in line, and you're going to lift your knees up. So you're in a plank pose. Staying strong here. Touch that right knee to the mat and then lift it back up. And then touch the left knee to the mat, lift it back up. Try to keep your body still as you touch your knees. And just go at your own pace. Just do a couple more each side, really engaging through the core. If it helps, think about drawing your ribs together and your navel back to support your spine. Okay, and then let's come on up into plank pose, regular plank pose. And we'll do the same thing here, but we'll come over the toe, drop the knee. And again, try to keep your upper body in the same line as you go. And maybe do about 8 drops total. So 4 each side. And when you're done, we're going to press on back to downward dog and walk in place. So treading through your foot, reaching the heel towards the mat behind you. And then see if you can turn over your toes and stretch the front of the foot as you press the opposite heel to the mat. And then switch. And just kind of keep going at your own pace. You can speed it up if that feels good to your feet. And then just come on into your downward dog. Widen your legs a little bit so they're hip distance. Lift your sits bones up. And slowly walk your feet to your hands. Separate your feet hip distance. Bend your knees. Let your ribs touch your thighs. Grab onto your elbows. Let the elbows and the head hang. And release the arms, bend the knees. Let's round all the way up. One vertebrae at a time. Head comes up last. And roll the shoulders up towards the ears. Press them back and push them down. And again. And then come on to the top of the mat. Palms together at your heart. Closing down your eyes. Reconnecting your intention or dedication. Relinking it with your breath. Exhale the arms down. Inhale, arms reach up, palms join. Look to your thumbs. Draw the hands to the heart, fold at the waist. You can start with your hands on your thighs and just let the crown of the head drop down. And then press into the thighs, get long through the spine. And then bend the knees, plant the palms, step back to your plank pose. I'm going to drop the knees here and do a modified push-up, elbows drawing towards the ribs as you lower down. Then send the hands back by your heels, point your toes, and lift everything up. And let's hold for 2 breath cycles. So long inhale, long exhale twice. At the end of your next exhale, hands back underneath your shoulders, back to that modified push-up position, into your plank and into your downward dog. And just take a few breaths here. Long inhale, long exhale. Use your breath as your curiosity. What's happening in your body? Checking in. And exhale, bend your knees, look to your hands. Inhale, let's walk our feet up to our hands. Hands to the thighs. Lift the heart. Exhale the head back down. Inhale, return to standing, reaching out and up. And hands to the heart, fold again. This time you can put your hands to the mat or back on your thighs, your choice. And inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step, or if you're ready to jump, you can jump. And then lowering down, you can do the modification or you can do full chaturanga, elbows towards the ribs. We're going to go into that modified cobra again. So send your fingertips and toes back, lift everything up. 2 breath cycles, really engaging through the back side of the body. And in the last exhale, hands underneath the shoulders, back into your push-up or plank, and back to downward dog. 5 breaths. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Inhale, step, or if you're ready to jump, jump your feet up. Long spine. Exhale the head down. Inhale, return to standing, arms reaching out and up. Hands to the heart, fold at the waist, drop the head. Inhale, long spine, lift the navel. Exhale, plant the palms, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower down with control. You can do your modification or your full push-up. We're going to go up into cobra or upward dog today. And then back to downward dog. And just a reminder, you can add an extra push-up anytime you want a little more upper body work. You can add an extra push-up between your chaturangas. So that's user's choice. You guys can decide. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands, inhale your feet up. long spine. Exhale the head down. Inhale, return to standing, reaching out and up. And hands to the heart, fold at the waist, drop the head. Inhale, long spine, lift the navel. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana, elbows in, lowering down. Cobra or upward, your choice. And back to downward dog. 5 breaths. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Inhale your feet up, long spine. Exhale the head down. Inhale, return to standing. Hands together. And then hands to the heart. We're going to bend the knees and go right into Surya Namaskara B. So sitting low, sweep the arms up overhead, look to the thumbs. Hands to the heart, fold at the waist, drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. Reach that right leg up towards the sky. Big stretch here, pointing the toes, lifting the heel high. And then bend the right knee and see if you can open that right hip a little bit. And then we're going to guide that right knee around and under the body and touch the left elbow. So bend your elbows a little bit. Hold for a breath. And scoop it back up. This time we're going to touch the right knee to the right elbow. Hold for a breath. And scoop it back up. And then bring the right knee under the body and see if you can touch your chin. I'm not quite there yet, but maybe you are. Hollow the belly, engage the core, and then plant the right foot close to the hands. Lower that left knee. Come to your fingertips if that feels comfortable and lift the chest. And then just melt into that right hip. So just holding here and breathing, you're melting deeper into that hip joint. And then we're going to send our sits bones back. Keep the right foot pressing into the mat and send the sits bones back and move the right knee towards straight, but not all the way straight, not locking it out. And just fold forward. See if you can find some ease in this pose. So just go just before your edge and breathe. And then come on back into the high lunge position, hands on either side of the right foot. Step back to your plank. You can hold in plank or you can take a chaturanga, your choice. You can even add an extra push-up here if you want, also your choice. And then back to your downward dog. Lift that left leg up, point the toes, big stretch. And then bend the left knee, open the left hip. And then guide that left hip around and under your body to the right elbow. Hold for a breath. And then stretch it back up. And then we're going to touch the left knee to the left elbow. And then stretch it back up. And then we're going to touch the left knee to the chin, hollow the belly. And then plant the left foot. Drop the right knee, come to your fingertips. And again, just melt into that left hip joint. You also are getting some nice length in the right hip flexor. I'm guessing the dominant feeling is your left hip joint, but you are getting a big long stretch through your hip flexor. And then we're going to press into our foot, into our hands, and send our sits bones back as we move that left leg towards straight and fold over. And then come on back into the high lunge. Step back to your plank. You can hold a plank or take a chaturanga. Your choice. We'll meet up in downward dog for 5 Ujjayi breaths. Heels reaching towards the mat behind you, fingers pressing into the mat in front of you. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Inhale your feet up, long spine. Exhale the head down. Bend the knees, sit over your heels, reach up. Draw the hands to the heart and fold. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Lower down with control, lifting up, cobra or upward dog. Back to downward dog. Reach the right leg up, big stretch. This time we're gonna reach under and touch the left elbow with the right knee. Hold for a breath and scoop it back up. Then we're gonna hollow the belly and touch the knee to the chin. Hold for a breath and scoop it back up. Now the knee is gonna go to the right elbow. Hold for a breath and then place the right foot outside the right hand and lower the left knee. And just lift the chest, sink into that right hip joint. I love it. The sun is coming out and it's also raining. I don't know if you guys can see like these big drops. It's really nice. Just have to watch out for my computer if it starts to really rain. Feels great. We're going to lift the toes and we're going to peel the toes off and lift them towards the sky and send our sits bones back and forward fold. So you should feel a nice stretch in your lower back, especially on that left side and then in the right hamstring, right calf. So use your breath to explore what you're feeling. Get a little bit longer in those spaces. And then come on back into your high lunge. Straighten that left leg, step back to plank. Hold your plank or take your chaturanga. We'll meet up in downward dog for the other side. Lift the left toes up, point the toes, big stretch. And then bring the knee under the body, touch the right elbow. And then back up to center, point the toes. And then bring the knee under the body, touch your chin, find Junie. And then stretch your toes up. We're going to touch the left knee to the left elbow, kind of suspend here, and then plant the left foot outside the left hand. Drop the right knee. And again, just go a little deeper into those hips, left hip joint, right hip flexor. Come over here. Come over here. Lift your left toes up towards the sky. Send your sits bones back, forward fold. Get long to the left side of the body, left side of the leg. And come on forward, back into that high lunge. Straighten the right leg, step back to your plank, and take your chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Back to your downward dog, hold for 5 breaths. This is what I do when I practice yoga. I play fetch with Junie at the same time, so I've kind of created a little bit of a monster. And exhale, bend your knees, look to your hands. Inhale, step or jump your feet up. Long spine. Exhale the head down. Bend your knees, sit over your heels, reach up, join your palms. And then hands to the heart, forward fold, drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Strong core as you lower down into your cobra or upward dog. And meeting back in downward dog. We're going to step forward with the right foot into Virabhadrasana A. Left foot goes flat, knee over the ankle, reach up and grab onto your left wrist. So give your left wrist a tug and get longer through the left side of the body, and then tip to the right. So you should feel some great length happening along the left leg, up through the left hip flexor and left side of the body to your pinky. And then keep your legs exactly where they are and draw 3 circles on the ceiling. So really just rotating through the waist, through the ribs, the spine, kind of giving your spine a little massage from the inside. And at the top of your 3rd circle, just hold there. Give an extra tug on the wrist, lift the chest, lift the gaze if that feels comfortable. And then release. Hands down, step back. Chaturanga Dandasana, upward dog or cobra. Back to your downward dog. Same thing, left side. So step forward with the left foot. Knee over the ankle, right foot flat. Reach up, grab onto the right wrist. Give that right wrist a tug. Get long through the right side of the body. Tip to the left. Feeling the length on the right side of the body. And then draw your circles. Moving just your waist, your ribs, your chest, your upper body, your spine. But from your hips down, you're perfectly still. And at the top of your third circle, give your wrist that extra little tug, lift the chest, maybe lift the gaze if that feels good on your neck. Release the hands, step back, Chaturanga Dandasana, upward dog or cobra, back to downward dog. 5 ujjayi breaths. And exhale, bend the knees, look to the hands. Inhale, bring your feet up, long spine. Exhale the head down. Bend the knees, sit over the heels, reach up. Hands to the heart, fold at the waist, drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. Step forward with the right foot and come on into Virabhadrasana A. So join the palms together, look to the thumbs. You want your hands to be more over your knee and your foot, so your shoulders can stay down, your ribs can stay down. And just looking at your thumbs. And then from here, let's open out to B. So inner thigh is really pressing, knee stays stacked over the ankle, shoulders pressing down away from the ears. And then straighten that left leg. And we're going to heel toe our feet in one time. Clasp the hands behind the head. Really squeeze the back of the head, just the base of the head, the top of the neck. Squeeze it with your thumbs. And then squat down so your knees are over your ankles. Then we're going to take the right elbow and drop it towards the right knee. And then left elbow. Squeeze your neck again when you're upright before you drop your left elbow towards your left knee. And come on back to center. Reach the arms up. And we're going to turn back to the right leg in front of you, dropping the left knee into kind of a high lunge. And just see if you can tilt your pelvis forward, really activate that right hip flexor. And just take a couple breaths here. And then get long through that right leg. Draw your ribs together and down, engage the core. And then lower the hands to the mat and take your Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to your downward dog. Same thing on the other side. So stepping forward with the left foot, sweep the arms up. First, find your Virabhadrasana A. Gaze on the thumbs, ribs together and down. And then open out to your Virabhadrasana B without moving that right knee. Opening out that inner thigh. And then straighten the leg. Heel toe your feet in one time. Clasp the hands together behind the back. Uh-oh. Lift the neck. Squat down. And drop your left elbow towards your left knee. And your right elbow towards your right knee. And come back to center. This time we're going to drop our hands down towards our knees. Sit down a little lower. So you want to almost feel like you've got a little traction here. So you're pressing to your feet, got some traction in the hips. We're going to drop our left shoulder and get a little twist here. You should feel a good stretch on your inner thigh, especially your left one. And trying to let your hips sink down, your sits bones drop. And then we're going to switch sides. So take off the pressure of that traction, switch shoulders, and then kind of move into that traction feeling again, shifting the inner thigh stretch to the right leg. And then release. Arms reach up. We're going to drop that right knee into that high lunge. Tilt the pelvis forward, really activate that right hip flexor or left hip flexor. No, right hip flexor. I'm trying to mirror you guys. And then press through the right foot. Get long through the spine, draw your ribs together, engage through the core. And then lower the hands down. Step back, Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. 5 breaths. And bend the knees, look to the hands, step or jump your feet up. Long spine. Exhale the head down. Bend the knees, sweep the arms up. We're going to clasp the hands, press the palms skyward, and sink into Utkatasana. So trying to send your sits bones back, your knees stacked over your ankles. And breathe. And then let's go into Ardha Utkatasana where you're half bent. So your thighs and torso are parallel with the mat, hopefully. Sits bones reaching back, palms reaching forward. And then plant the hands. And if you're doing Bakasana today, this is our Bakasana time, or you can experiment with it. Separating your hands shoulder distance, separating your knees wider than your hips, crouching down low like a frog about to spring. Then you're going to lift up on your toes, lift your hips up, and press the backs of the knees into the backs of the arms. And you may just want to stay here and see what it feels like to have more weight in the arms, but you can also lift a foot or a toe or the other. I like to stack them. I feel like that gives me a little more stability. You can also then, once you're up off the ground, you can try to draw your heels in closer to your body and hollow the belly. That helps with stability as well. So if you're ready and you want to jump back, otherwise step back. Come on into your upward dog or cobra, back to your downward dog. And we're going to step forward with the right foot into Virabhadrasana and the right side. Sweep the arms up, join the palms. We're going to go right into B from here. So be mindful of that right knee. Then we're going to go right into reverse warrior. Lift the fingertips up, stretching back, letting that left hand slide down the left leg. And then we're going to straighten the right leg and go right into triangle pose, reaching out, right hand down, left arm up. Tuck your tailbone in, so trying to get your hips stacked over your leg. Gaze can lift to the thumb of the left hand if that feels good to you. For me, it's blinding, so I'm going to look forward. And then drop the left arm over the left ear, lengthen through the left side of the body. And then turn towards your right foot, hands on either side of the right foot. Step the back foot up so your feet are closer together. Soften your right knee, and then just drape your body over your right knee. Let the weight of the head draw the spine long, and breathe. And then take your left hand, maybe even up to the top of the mat. If you want it about 6 to 8 inches in front of your right foot, you're going to weight that left hand, put more weight in the right foot, and sweep that right arm up for reverse triangle pose. You're going to draw your right hip back in your stance so you get a stretch to the right side of the waist. And you can look at the far wall or you can look up at your thumb, your choice. And then bring that arm over the ear, sweep it around, and plant the right hand inside the right foot. Step to the back of the mat with the left foot, and bring that left arm up and around behind your back. And just hold here for a couple breaths. And then weight your feet, press into that right foot, and come on up. And we're going to go into variation in reverse warrior. Some of you may be able to put your left hand on your right thigh or just behind your back is fine too. So see what feels good to you and then bring that right arm up and over. Bend the right knee a little deeper as you reach back with the right fingertips. And then we're going to spiral the arms into forearm pose, Parshokonasana, reaching the left arm up and over. Try to keep space between the ear and the shoulder so you're not sinking into it like this. Really create space. And we're going to go back into the variation of reverse warrior. So left hand goes behind your back again, maybe to your thigh, right arm comes on, up and over. And then we're going to spiral the arms, and this time we're going to rotate our feet, come to the ball of the left foot, the left heel is up. We're going to drop the left hand inside the right foot and reach the right arm up for revolving prayer spinal twist. And then bring the arm over the ear, big stretch. Hands down and come on back into Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. Same thing on the left side. So step forward with the left foot. Come on up to Vira A. Gaze to the thumbs. And then we're going to go right into Vira B. Keep that left knee still, open out the right foot, right hip. And then spin that left palm up, reach the fingertips up. Reverse warrior. And straighten the leg. Transitioning into triangle pose. Extend out over the left leg, left hand goes down, right arm comes up. Try to keep your hips stacked, your back flat as if you're against a wall. Gaze is in front of you or up at your right thumb, your choice. And bring the right arm over the ear, a little deeper side stretch. And then turn, hands on either side of the left foot. Step your back foot up so your feet are about 1.5 to 2 feet apart. Soften the left knee and drape your body over the left leg. And then take the hand inside or out, inside the left foot up towards the top of the mat and sweep the left arm up and look at the thumb or the far wall. And then bring the arm over the ear. Place the left hand inside the left foot and step to the back of the mat with the right foot. And sweep that right arm up and around your body behind your back. And from here, we're going to stand up. Maybe that right hand is going to go to the left thigh, and we're going to go into reverse warrior variation. And then let's go into side angle pose, forearm. Sweep the right arm up and over. And then again to that reverse warrior variation, right hand goes behind your back, left arm comes up and over. And then we're going to spiral the arms. Bring that right foot up or right heel up so you're on the ball of your right foot. And then bring your right hand down inside your left foot. Bring the left arm up for variation on revolving prayer spinal twist. And left arm over the left ear, down to the mat. And take your chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. Back to downward dog. And slowly walk your hands back to your feet. Bend your knees. Ribs kiss your thighs. Just hold here for a little extension. And then let's slowly start rolling up, head and arms hang heavy and come up last. Bring the shoulders up towards the ears, press them back and push them down. Up, back, and down. Okay, let's do a little balancing pose. So we're gonna do the hip opener, like we're sitting in an easy chair. So start first by really grounding through your feet, hip distance, and then bend your knees a little bit. I like to imagine that I'm sitting back in a couch, if that's helpful to you, but just imagine that you're kind of relaxed and you're just crossing your leg over your knee. So do that, and then maybe bend your left knee just a little bit more so you've got something to hold on to, and then hands at your heart. So this is step one. And you can stay here or we can add on to step two, which is where you kind of lean forward and try to get your elbows to touch your leg. I try to go for the knee and the ankle. Isn't exactly straight or flat, but it's close. And then take a couple breaths and just check in there. So you can stay here. You can go to step three, which is reaching for the mat with your fingers. And you can take a couple breaths here or stay before you move on to bending the left knee. And then the backs of the arms become kind of a pressure point for your knees. So you get this big hip opener. So I really encourage you to breathe the whole time. Breathe as you move from one part to the next or stay where you are. And when you're ready, you're going to unwind just like you went in, doing those steps in reverse. So coming back up to the fingertips, then come back to the elbows on the leg, then come back and release. So same thing on the left side. So do what you need to do to shake it off, reset, find your grounded place with your feet, bend your knees. Imagine you're on that couch again. Now you're crossing your left leg, your left ankle over. Bend the right knee a little deeper, hands to your heart. And just try to find some ease right here. And either hold here or move on, leaning forward, elbows touching your leg in some way. I like to go for the ankle and the knee. And take a couple breaths here, check in before you move on, or stay where you are. Fingers down if you're moving on. And hold here or add on. And then when you're ready to come out of the pose, just unwind those steps in reverse. Nice. Come on to the top of the mat, palms together at your heart. Let's just check in. Close your eyes, feel your breath. Remember your intention or dedication. Reconnect it with your breath for the last few minutes of your practice. And a secret that you can take with you from your practice is that your breath can continue to link you to your intention or dedication throughout your day, your week. Use it, it's yours. Exhale your arms down. Inhale, arms reach up, palms join, look to your thumbs. Draw your hands to your heart, fold at the waist, drop the head. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, plant the palms, step or jump. Chaturanga Dandasana. Upward dog or cobra. Back to your downward dog. And we're going to step forward into a seated position for seated tree pose. So I'm going to continue to face forward just because it's dirty. Sole the right foot inside the left thigh. We'll start with that leg. Flex the left foot. Maybe this is even good. Really flex the left foot. Some of you may even be able to lift your heel off the mat, and that really shows how much your foot is flexed. Let's start with a little twist. So left hand on your left hip, right hand outside your left thigh. Sit up tall, wiggle around, find your sits bones, draw your navel back, and turn your gaze over your left shoulder. Breathe into the twist. Keep that left foot flexed and active. And release the twist. Let's just put our hands on the mat and sit up nice and tall. Try to keep your spine long and maybe just walk forward a couple inches. And then maybe walk forward a couple more inches. When you notice that you start doing this, come back a couple inches so you can get that straight spine again. So this is a way of sort of measuring how much length is happening in the hamstring, how much length is happening in the spine. And then go ahead and walk your hands forward to the place where you're rounding, and then intentionally round, curling your nose towards your knee, hollow the belly, draw the navel up, and just let the chin hang towards your chest. And breathe into the back side of the body, into the hamstring, wherever you're feeling sensation. And then come on up. We're going to open the right knee out and do a little side bend. So you can either do your left palm or you can take your left forearm and sweep the right arm up and over. Just enjoy that stretch running up from your right hip bone. And come on up. And we're going to turn this sole of the foot down, grab our left leg in, right hand behind us. Again, flex that left foot, find your sits bones, and turn your gaze over your right shoulder. And release. Let's do the same thing on the other side. So straighten out the right leg, sole of the left foot inside the right thigh, right hand to the right hip, left hand goes to the right leg, flex the right foot, sit up tall, and look over your right shoulder. And release the twist. And again, hands are going to be on the mat. So we'll start with a straight spine, hands on the mat. Walk them a couple inches forward and reach forward. Try to send your sits bones back. So you're encouraging length in the back of the leg. And then maybe a couple inches forward. And then remember, your sign is that if you notice that you're rounding, come on back until you can get straight again. So just keep going to your straight place where your hamstring is getting a good stretch. You're comfortable, you can breathe. And then let's intentionally hollow out the belly and round down. Curl the nose down towards the knee. Breathing the back of the heart higher through the shoulder blades. And then come on up. You're going to open your leg out and turn towards you guys. So open your leg out and then right palm to the mat or right forearm to the mat. Left arm comes up and over. And getting long through the left side of the body, breathing into that length. And come on up. And we're going to come into Navasana, boat pose. We'll do a modified boat pose. So really engaging through the core. Palms are facing up. You're trying to get your ankles the same height as your knees. And then cross your ankles, roll forward into Chaturanga Dandasana, upward dog or cobra, back to downward dog. And bend the knees and come on into a seated position. We're going to go right into Navasana again, and we'll do a little Navasana sequence. So Navasana, this modification, short boat. So imagine you're a little boat, a little rowboat here. And then we're going to press our feet forward and the back of our heart back into a long boat, really hollowing the belly. And then come on back up to the short boat. Make sure you're breathing the whole time too. I know sometimes I'm like holding my breath and I realize keep breathing. This long, steady breath helps you in your poses. And back to your short boat. And one more time, let's press forward into the long boat and back up to the short boat. And then just lay on your back. Draw your knees in. Rock side to side. Just give yourself a little massage. Take a moment, check in. And plant your feet on the mat, hands on the mat next to your hips. Keep your knees hip distance and let's lift the tailbone up, lift the pelvis up. Keep the knees over the ankles, lift the belly to a supported bridge. You can rock side to side and get your arms and shoulders underneath you if you'd like. You can clasp the hands and then press the arms into the mat. This helps you have a little more openness, a little more lift through the belly, through the pelvis. You decide what works for you. Just keep breathing. And unwind the arms. And come on down one vertebrae at a time, letting your spine really connect with the mat as you go. Last thing to connect is your tailbone. Push your arms out to the sides. We're going to go back to that couch metaphor, but this time imagine you're in an easy chair. You're going to cross your right knee over your left. You're in this nice, easy chair. And gently drop both knees to the left. Your gaze can either be up at the sky or the ceiling, or you can turn towards your right thumb. Your choice. And bring the knees back up. Uncross. Same thing, left side over the right. Let both knees fall to the left. Turn your gaze either to the left shoulder or keep it up the sky. And come on up, unwind. And keep your feet where they are. Separate them about the distance of your mat and then let your knees touch. And if this doesn't feel comfortable for you, another option you could do is Baddha Konasana feet, or you could even just lay flat. So you decide. We're going to place our right hand on our heart, our left hand on our belly, and we're going to do our little meditation from here. So drop into your internal gaze at your third eye. Place your tongue at the roof of the mouth behind your front teeth. And from these mudras, these postures, watch your breath from the inside. I invite you to hold one thing in your mind you feel grateful for today and just sort of savor it in this moment. And go ahead and release your meditation and find a comfortable reclining position for Shavasana. And just let your breath return to its normal rhythm. Let your body sink into your mat and give yourself permission to take 2 minutes to seal in the effects of your practice today. Take a deep breath and bring your awareness back to your mat, to your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes, bring life back to your limbs. Gently roll your head side to side, awakening your spine. When you're ready, draw your knees in and roll off to one side. And slowly open your eyes and come on back to an upright position. Namaste. Good to have you all here today.